Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of Myco. Go, go, go! And in this episode, my name is Blaze. And in this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to utilize the third and final bacteriological cleanup method. I'm going to be showing you guys how to actually use it. In the last video, I showed you guys how to make water agar, which is agar that is mostly devoid of any kind of nutrient content. And in this episode, I'm going to show you guys how to use it. Essentially, we're just going to be taking some potentially contaminated mycelium, bacteriologically contaminated mycelium, and we're going to transfer that to a water agar dish. And the hope is that because of the lack of nutrients, the mycelium will hopefully be able to outrun the bacteriological contamination so that we can take a clean sample of the leading edge of some of that mycelium and then transfer it to a nutrient-rich agar plate, and hopefully it will grow out clean and we can use it. All right, so let's get started. Let's move right along. All right, so like I always say, cover all your bases, right? Get some clean clothes on, brush your teeth, check that all the fans and air conditioner are turned off, blah, 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 blah. Cover all your bases, grab something to drink, make sure you already ate, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we're not going to be doing much today, but every time I get in my still air box, I just make it a point to try to cover all my bases. It's a good habit to have when you work in a still air box for sometimes a really long time. All right, so shout out to everyone out there in the chat. Hope you're all doing good. I'd like to point out today is sort of a historical marker for this channel. I finally just made it to 100 views today, just now. 100 views total. That's awesome. Thank you everyone for watching and tuning in. I appreciate you. All right. So all these jars in here, they have some fresh water agar. Some agar that is devoid of most nutrients. Oh, I gotta grab my nitro gloves. Also, I got my polyfill in today finally. Can use my polyfill. What up, Tasman? How you doing, brother? Doing all right? All right, so this is basically my third and final potential method for cleaning up bacteriological contamination, and we're going to try to use it today, if possible. I'm trying to put this light where it isn't messing with too much. All right, well, I guess that's as good as it's going to get. Maybe I can angle the camera to be at a better... I think that looks better. We'll try it. See how that works. Put my nitro gloves on. So depending on how quick this first part of this video goes, I'm we might go on to do another part where I show how to add polyfill to your modded lids. If not, I'll do that in a future episode. But I just got my polyfill finally today. And so I can use that for my FAE, my fresh air exchange, for my jars. Whether they be for grain spawn or liquid culture. You can use polyfill. I never have, but you know what? People do. It can be done. I usually just buy the filter patch, they're cheap. I ran out, and this is a low budget, low tech DIY channel, so I'd like to show all the options you can use, all the different things you can utilize to try to DIY this stuff and make it work however you can. So you guys get to come along to watch me do some firsts ever, something I've never done before. It's okay to take your time, right? Because you want the alcohol to allow. You want to allow the alcohol to adhere to the walls and catch any floating particles in the air, and it kind of catches everything and sticks it to the sides, or it knocks it out of the air. It gets it wet, makes it heavy. You're trying to eliminate all the potential floating crap around in the distiller box. So it's okay if you wait a second. It's also a good idea if you're not talking and not making a bunch of movement like I'm doing with waving my arms around like I'm doing right now. But anyway, I'm just going to start out looking at some of these plates. Some of them look like they're definitely contaminated, right? But we're going to try to clean it up. There is some mycelial growth for sure. Some of them appear to have almost no bacteria growth. And we want to use the best looking plate we can get. One that has little to no bacterial growth. So right now, this one looks to be the best. Hopefully it is. And one way to find out. Yeah, pretty much all of them look to have some contamination, except for this one. But it could be that it just hasn't had enough time to really show its true form yet. This isn't even my true form. But for one thing, I already have some fresh liquid culture ordered and coming in, right? So as soon as I know that's actually on the way, I'm going to go ahead and already do a video showing how to make some fresh liquid culture without using a pressure canner or Instapot or whatever. All you need is a large pot with a lid. And we'll make some fresh liquid culture some fresh liquid culture. And after I do that, actually the first video I might do is showing how to prep some grain, right? I'm going to show how to prep some grain and get that started, at least started for pasteurization. And then the next video will probably be reheating the grain and using some of the grain water to make the liquid culture. And we'll use the liquid culture to we'll use that liquid culture whenever I get that the new liquid culture in the mill, and we can just immediately use that to inoculate some fresh liquid culture. We will also be putting it to grain right away and inoculating some agar with it just to make sure it's good. But I am going to go kind of skip a couple steps and go ahead and inoculate some stuff with it because I trust the source that I'm getting it from. They know what they're doing. I just know that it's going to be a clean culture. And if it's not a clean culture, I'd be pretty darn surprised considering who is sending it. So I'm not too worried about just using it right away. Normally, I wouldn't even recommend doing that. You should always test your liquid cultures first on agar. Always. So you heard it here first. I recommend that you do it on agar first, always, always. Yeah, this looks to be some good culture. Hopefully it is. Hopefully I can get a hold of it without destroying it or dropping it. So not only am I going to be putting it to some water agar, which is devoid of nutrient, hopefully allowing it to outrun the bacterial growth, but I may also utilize one of the other methods, whether it's the sandwich method or the trenching method. You know what? Maybe I should leave that up to the chat. Which method do you guys want to see me use to try to attempt to clean up this culture besides just putting it on water agar? Should I try the trenching method? Is that what you guys want to see? You already know how I feel about the different methods, but I want to know what you guys think. Should I make some fresh agar to pour on top of it like the sandwich method, or should I create a trench in here once it starts to grow just a tiny bit to allow the mycelium to jump across and leave any potential contamination behind? Or what do you guys want to see? Comment down below. Let me know. I want to see a comment. Someone let me know. What's up? What do you want to see? I'm giving you the option. You have the power. And you know what? I may actually do one more. I'm going to drop it in one more from the same cup. Now, I don't want to say this is going to be my last video ever, but it might be, because I'm either going to have to completely shut this channel down, start a new one, change the name, all that, and just start a new channel, which is pretty sad. Like, I don't want to do that, but I kind of feel like I have to now. It's either that or I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to give up. You know what I mean? Which I don't want to do that either. That seems like I don't want to be known as a quitter, because I'm not, but some stuff kind of happened, and it just makes me feel different about the whole thing now, the whole channel, the whole ordeal. It just makes like I shouldn't worry so much because I'm putting this on YouTube anyway, but like I don't even go by my real name on here. I go by Blaze. It's my middle name, so it's kind of my real name, but I go by Blaze. I don't even go by my real first name on this channel. And I also have not posted anything about this channel on Facebook or anything like that, but someone else did.
And now someone who I did not want to know about this channel now knows and is constantly harassing me about it just because they're such a hateful, negative person. And she's probably watching this right now. But it is what it is. You know, shit happens. But I didn't really want my channel on Facebook because I didn't want people to know. Well, it was really just one person that I didn't want to know. Because there's the kind of person that will go out of their way to fuck your life up just because, just because their life sucks or whatever. And, yeah. And it's kind of funny because the person who posted my video on Facebook, let me know that they were uncomfortable by me talking about my situation with my ex. And now my ex knows about this channel, which I'm not happy about, which is now probably going to lead to me quitting this channel. So, pretty sad, but it is what it is. How did that happen? Sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to, I want to say for me, a lot of times it doesn't, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give up. Most of the time, I'll probably just end up creating a new channel under a different name and making dang sure that I don't let anyone post it on Facebook where some person who's just hell-bent on harassing me at every turn can see it. It was funny because I was just going to shut up and not mention my ex anymore or anything about it, but then everything got out of hand. It got posted on Facebook in a way that she could see it and now knows exactly what's going on and that I have a YouTube channel, and I don't know how I feel about the fact that she's probably watching this right now and just gearing up to talk a whole bunch of smack about me in the comments, or I don't know, get me banned from YouTube. So why give her the satisfaction? I might as well quit the dang channel and just start over. I don't know what to say other than that. I wasn't going to talk about it, but you know what? I'm the one who had to live through it. I'm the one who had to be in that situation, and this is my channel. So if anyone's uncomfortable about me talking about a messed up situation I was in, then just tune out, Don't watch. No hard feelings, Anyway, I don't know if you can see, but that piece got stuck all the way on the other side where the agar isn't. But I'm just going to have faith that it'll grow down to the agar, because mycelium's crazy. It can grow up the side of your jar and some more shit to look for more nutrients. I've seen it. So, I don't know. Whatever. It's on another jar. It's on this little. I like working with these jars better anyway with stuff like this. So let me know about down below. Do you guys want to see the sandwiching method to clean this up in this one, or do you want to see the trenching method? Coupled with the fact that it's on water agar, devoid of nutrients. So we're going to continue to try to clean some stuff up, whether it works or not, whatever, I got some fresh liquid culture coming in the mail pretty soon. I also have a magnetic stir and some more stir bars on the way. Who knows how long it will take, but it's okay. It's not 100% essential. It just makes things easier. All right, now I can take this dang mask off, and let's see how long the channel's been, or the video has been running so far. Almost 20 minutes.
Trenching method. You want to see the trenching method? Really? I mean, I can. It'll be in the next video, though. You got to put a comment down below. It doesn't count unless you put a comment in the video. I don't think I've had a single comment in any video yet. So you got to put a comment down below. Otherwise, it don't count. Don't count. All right. I'll be right back. Also, do you want me to continue the video so I can show you guys how to use polyfill on a modded lid? Let me know. I'll be right back. Hey, how's it going? What up, y'all? Yeah, this might be the last video of the channel, sadly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If I start getting harassed by a certain someone, then I'm just gonna quit this whole fucking channel, you know. It may or may not be revived in the future, but I'm not quitting what I'm doing either way, but you know, I just don't know how I feel about a certain someone knowing about this channel just because they're such a harassment. So, all right. So moving on, I'm going to show you guys how to use some polyfill. Do you know what polyfill is? Polyester fiber fill. You know about Build-A-Bear? If you know anything about Build-A-Bear, or you ever been there, you know what polyfill is. Just got this today. Polyester fiber fill. It's cheap. Cheap. Check that out. Cheap. And it's DIY, low tech, low budget, cheap stuff. Seems like it came with a stick or something in it. I don't know what that is. What is that? Some chopsticks? Just push some polyfill out. Look. Can use this stuff to make clouds in your room with some special LED lights, LED strip. You take some of this stuff and some poster board and like some staples or hot glue or whatever, and you put it up on your ceiling or on your walls, and you can make what they call thunder clouds. I don't know why they call them thunder cloud. Why don't they call them lightning clouds or thunder or lightning storm lights or something? That sounds cooler than thunder clouds. It just sounds stupid to me. Thunder clouds, but they look cool, right? The way you do it. So, not really sure why there's a single chopstick in here, but we can use it. That way I ain't got to use my tweezers, but I could use the tweezers, or I could use this, or I could use a crochet needle hook thing. Crochet needle, crochet hook, whatever you call it. one of them little crochet things. It's like a little stick, but at the end it has a little tiny hook. If you can get a really small, skinny one, like the smallest one you can get, I would say maybe not the smallest, but like pretty small. You want a small one. You can stick it up through the hole in your lid, and then grab polyfill and then pull it back through. And that's a super easy way if you have a crochet hook, right? Because it's got a hook. It's got a hook. So you can stick it through there. And while you're through the lid, wrap it around some polyfill, pull the polyfill through. So the idea is you're trying to create a filter for fresh air exchange in one of these holes, so that you have one for inject. One will be silicone, right? And you're going to allow it to cure, and then it can be a self-healing injection port, so you can stick a syringe through there, pull it back through, and you don't have to worry about it. You can actually just have one hole and just use polyfill and stick a syringe through that, and that works just fine. But I'm used to, having the filter patch and a self-healing injection port, and that's just the way I'm used to doing it. And eventually I may actually take the silicone and the polyfill off eventually in the future, and do it the way I'm used to, just because I like to do it multiple ways. I like to show multiple ways of doing it, but also just, I guess in some ways I'm stuck in my ways, right? Like I like to use a way that I know that works and works just fine, and how to use it, how to utilize it exactly. But I also like to experiment too, add multiple sides sometimes. So we're just going to get like the idea is you don't want to use so much, you don't want to have it so compact, right? That there's no airflow. You don't want it so tight, but you also don't want it so loose that contamination is allowed to get through. Now, probably like the best way to do this is with a crochet hook, but sadly I don't have one. I used to have one specifically for this purpose, but I don't have one now. So you want to get you like, I don't know, a good little piece of this, right? Kind of flatten it up. Not flatten it, but kind of just like compact it a little bit. No, stop it. Or don't change it. Fuck that. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the channel? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it anymore after, because I know a certain someone knows about it now, and I just don't like that. I don't like the idea that she could be watching this right now, just waiting for someone to talk shit so she can jump in the chat and just like freak out, or something. I just don't like that. It is, it'd be different if I had already built up an audience on this channel to the point where it doesn't matter and it's not going to hurt my reputation at all. But like, she's going to jump up in here and like say all kinds of crazy shit about me that anyone who actually knows me isn't true at all. Like, I'm not a Satanist. I'm not any of these other number of things she likes to call me or point out, like, well, you're this and you're that. Well, okay, well, I'm sorry that I don't worship Jesus's ball sack. It doesn't make me a Satanist or anti-God, okay? It just means I don't fucking have the same ideals as you. Sue me. Polyfill. We're going to kind of like compact it, and then we're going to double it over at least once. That's what I'm going to do. To the best of your ability, just do the best you can. It might even take a little bit. That might be a little too much. See, make it a little bit thinner. Then I'm going to compact it down, kind of get it all together, fold it in half. Probably wouldn't fold it more than that, but like fold it in half. And then I'm going to try to poke it through there, like the whole thing in the middle. I'm going to try. I'm going to attempt. See how it goes. This is just for demonstrative purposes. Like, I'm actually going to finish modding my lids later because, doing all the extra stuff. I've already shown you guys how to do the silicone and stuff. Yeah, this is why it's much easier with some tweezers or a crocheted needle. I was gonna try the little stick that they gave me. I mean, it does fit through the hole, but it doesn't really get anything through there. This might not work that well either. Fuck. How are y'all doing tonight? Y'all having a good night? I hope so. There's a third person in the chat. What up, what up, what up? YouTube ain't all it's cracked up to be sometimes. I'm starting to realize. Especially if you got someone who's constantly trying to harass you and threaten you and all this and that. So, if this part has taught you anything, it's that you want to get a fucking crochet needle to do this, right? I mean, I got it on there. It's not very pretty. Needs to be trimmed up, definitely. I have some scissors right here. You don't want to trim too much, but you do want to trim some of it off. I'm gonna pull more through first. Like, look at that. It looks like crap. Let's focus on what you love and what you want to show your viewers, brother. Not weird, no weird shit allowed. Yeah, right. No weird shit. Sometimes life is messy, though, you know. Mine has been nothing but a mess, most of it. But you know, I keep going. I try my best to stay positive, regardless. I've been poor my whole life. My entire life has been a mess. You know. But you gotta have hope things will get better. You gotta have that faith and that determination that you want. You know, you gotta want things to get better and work at it too. You can't just sit around and complain like, man, you know, shit sucks, but then not do anything about it. All right. All right, don't breathe in any poly dust. It's plastic. It's essentially just plastic turned into like fiber, polyester fiber. But hell, what are most shirts made of today is not cotton. It's usually mostly polyester, the same stuff, right? And we're going to use it for mushroom cultivation, DIY. So yeah, you know, this stuff doesn't look super pretty, but it's effective and it works. But the fact that it isn't super seamly, doesn't look super nice, right? Which is why a lot of people don't use it. Plus, filter patches are pretty cheap. But if you don't have that and you're in a bind and you want to get this going right away, like I do, sometimes you have to go the low budget, low tech way, right? And that's what I'm going to do for now. For now, anyway. I'm also going to show the other way of doing things. So for now, this is just going to be the polyester for the fresh air exchange so it can breathe, which you could use as an injection port. I'm not going to. I'm going to put some silicone on here, let it cure for at least 24 hours. 100% silicone. It's rated to at least 250 degrees Fahrenheit. This stuff is rated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit after it cures, so I can use that. It's perfectly fine, and I'm going to use that for my self-healing injection port on the other hole. That's how I mod my lids for now. That's my DIY way of doing it. And these are going to be used for liquid culture and grain spawn. In my next video, I'll probably be showing you guys how to get started. If I do another video, I'm going to show you guys how to get started on grain prep with either popcorn or brown rice. I may do both. I may do one or the other. I guess we'll see. But I'm going to get some grain going probably as soon as I find out my liquid culture is like on its way. And then I'm going to get some grain going. And then I'm also going to save some of the grain water that I use to cook the grain with. I'm going to pour off some of the water into like an empty water jug or jar or something that I can cap up, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge and label it and date it. Grain water, blah, blah, blah. Here's my date. I'm going to use that as my nutrient for making my liquid culture. And that'll be the video after showing how to prep grain and get it ready for what I call fractional tyndallization. It's not just what I call it. It's a scientific term. It's called fractional tyndallization. And basically what that means is we're going to use pasteurization effectively enough to kill off any harmful potential contaminants and endospores, which are heat resistant up until they germinate, which is why we're going to heat up the grain inside. First, we're going to heat up the grain and get it to absorb moisture. Then we're going to allow it to dry off and evaporate any water on the outside. So after it absorbs the moisture and then the outside of it is dry, then we're going to put the grain in jars. Then we're going to heat it up. We're going to get it up to at least like a good temperature and for at least an hour or so, hour and a half to 2 hours. And then we're going to let it cool off for 24 hours. Then we're going to do the same thing. After 24 hours, you heat it up again, right? Hopefully, in doing that, you're going to allow these heat-resistant endospores to then germinate, thereby making them vulnerable to the heat cycle, much more so than they would be before they germinate. These endospores are a huge problem in mycology because of their heat resistance. But if you get them to germinate, they're then vulnerable a lot more so. And you can effectively just do that one more time and then kill off those endospores. But a lot of people recommend doing this cycle 3 times, the heating cycle 3 times. That's not including when you heat up the grain to allow it to absorb moisture and then you put it in jars. This is after that, after you get it prepped and put in your jars or bags or whatever. And I also don't recommend that you do fractional tyndallization with bags of grain, because that's a lot of grain to pasteurize, and it's a lot harder to effectively pasteurize completely, whereas the jars seem to be a lot easier. I think it's just because there's less grain. And then another fact is the fact that I think the glass also kind of helps. The glass gets really hot and maintains that heat for a while. So I think just it being in a glass vessel also kind of helps the pasteurization process. And so it's recommended to do this heating cycle at least 3 times. And in doing that, you're killing these heat resistant bacteria and spores and contamination. And then it's effectively pasteurized, not sterilized. It's pasteurized enough so that it should be uh, good enough to use to grow mushrooms with. And so that's the low tech way of doing it. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And then in a future episode, it's going to take multiple episodes, obviously, because you have to do this multiple times for it to actually work. And we want it to work, right? So that's what I'm going to do. You're doing a great job. I ride that energy. The longer you're going, the higher it's getting. I'm proud of you. Vibe. Yeah, yeah. I'm not even trying to say anything about it because she's probably low key watching the whole fucking thing. So I'm just going to ignore and pretend pretend that like there is no potential hindrance to the channel or me or my reputation. It's just someone out to get me because they're just a hateful person. I don't know what else to say. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. I'm giving up talking about it, and hopefully I won't have to give up the channel or completely rebrand and change the name and all that. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm just going to stop. It's just kind of messed up because the very person who later told me after a stream was like, it was kind of uncomfortable hearing you talk about your situation with your ex and all that. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'll just shut up about it. But then he goes and posts it online so that now she knows about it and can harass me about it. And so it's like, well, fuck. Thanks, dude. Well, anyway, moving on. We'll see what happens. I'm sure I'm going to end up getting harassed or something about it. And it just goes to show that some people can be pretty immature and childish. But yeah, I'm going to do my best to just not even talk about it anymore. It is what it is. And if I have to give up this channel, that sucks and that's unfortunate. I just made it to 100 views and I was pretty happy about it. And now this, it's just my luck. So I guess, yeah, hopefully this isn't the last episode. And I'd like to thank you guys all for joining and everyone else, everyone who's checked it out even for a second. I appreciate you. And thanks for helping the channel grow. And thanks for supporting me and being so cool. And, I don't want to give it up. But we'll see, Only time will tell what happens. Hopefully I get to keep bringing you guys along. Either way, I'm not quitting. I'm just might not do the channel anymore. But yeah, depressing note to end on, huh? I appreciate that, y'all. I do. I really do. I appreciate it. We'll see what happens. Like I keep saying. Only time will tell. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I guess that's it for this video, y'all. Thanks again for joining. I need to learn how to edit these videos so I could just clip out this whole depressive ending note that I just came up with. I'm not that great at YouTubing or being a showman or anything like that, but maybe I'll get better at it. We'll see. I appreciate y'all for joining this episode. Hopefully next episode will be a lot more exciting and not so depressing. I'm sorry, y'all. But hopefully you learned something, and I hope I benefited to y'all's increasing knowledge in mycology and how it actually works. And a lot of people end up buying stuff like spore syringes or spore swabs, and they don't tell you anything. So like you don't have any idea. They just assume that you have some basic knowledge in mycology, and a lot of people don't. And it's not like they tell you, well, you got to do this, 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 and this, and this to even get this spore swab to work in the way that you want it to, right? Like they don't tell you all that. They just expect you to know. So a lot of people just got to learn stuff the hard way, trial and error. But thanks again for joining, y'all. And hopefully I see you guys in the next episode. I'm gonna end it at that. Sorry for ending it on such a depressive note, y'all. Have a good one.